What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jungle. SPK!
But I did everything. I cooked, I cleaned, I hand washed the toilets.
Everything your butler does for you. I'm not accepting no prep school Bel Air bred sellout into my fraternity.
Kick the beat. So guys, many of you grew up in the inner cities of Black America. I grew up in Del Paso Heights. My man SPK grew up in Baltimore. And like I said, man, we've both been through some, crazy times, as have you if you came up in, those certain sectors of Black America. And some of us, we live where gunshots, crackheads, crack houses, prostitutes, shady pastors and local ghetto churches. We've been through it all. But thank God for the victory. We really made it out. But not everybody's had our experience. Like, let me give an example of what I'm talking about. There's Pocket Watching with JT. Now, he didn't grow up in the hood like I did or like SPK did. His family was affluent. They had, both parents in the home. His dad was an entrepreneur and set him on the track the right way. Yeah, and he's an African-American guy, right? And shout out to our brother. He didn't have to grow up like us. And I think that what happens in Black America is there are Black people that their parents were not on drugs or not divorced or not messed up, and their kids lived a privileged life. And their kids did well. Their kids went to colleges. Those kids went to Ivy League schools. They went to private school. And yes, there is a name for these groups of people in our community. They are called the Black elite. Now, let me talk about this because in Black America, since the 1800s, there's been somewhat of a tiff between higher performing or more intelligent Blacks or the underwhelming or the working class Blacks in Black America. Not the same thing is wrong with the working class people, because obviously you still have very intelligent people in the working and middle class. But for whatever reason, the working and middle class of Black America kind of look at the upper elite class of Black America as not really being Black, not really being part of the struggle. And so what they are sellouts because, they don't identify with the local struggles of the everyday Black person. And there's a young brother from Dallas, Texas. I want you guys to go check him out on TikTok, Xavier.cob. He's a young guy. He's an entrepreneur. He's doing very well for himself. And, he really weighed in on people hating on talented Blacks and educated Blacks that speak proper and things like that. And, well, you know what? I'm going to let him break this down, and then I'm going to come back and give my opinion.
Why do y'all hate Black people who grew up with money? Let me make one thing clear. I grew up in a $500,000 house. I went to private school. I graduated from one of the top universities in the country. My job, you couldn't get it if you wanted to. My car note is more than your rent, no cosign. I can go on for days. But the moral of the story is, why would I want to relate or try to fit in with a lifestyle that I do not come from? Y'all don't think it's crazy that you equate Blackness with poverty? And this is exactly why you have all these suburban kids running around here acting like they got it out the mud, like they were struggling, because you sit there and shame them for being from the suburbs. Y'all keep saying Carlton like that's some sort of insult. Like, are you okay? Use the 3 brain cells you got up in there to tell me, who does it benefit for Black people to only be able to fit the stereotypes in order to be considered Black? Because it's not benefiting Black people.
So you heard what he had to say. And I want to kind of rewind to the part where he says, why would I want to fit into a lifestyle that I didn't grow up in? Now, that's so important. Many of us have tried to fit into that lifestyle. I didn't really grow up in the gang lifestyle, but I do kind of identify with some of the hood lingo and being pressured to fit into a certain lifestyle because of where I came from, my own social conditioning. And many of you guys have been a victim of that too. You talked about some of the kids from the suburbs who never even experienced a life of growing up poor, but trying to become acclimated with that just to fit into Black culture. And I'm so glad he said that, because this is what you see happening in the Black world. You see professional Blacks having to, let's say, code switch. And we know what that means. You know, when the white people come around, we talk one way, and then amongst the blacks, we talk another way because, yeah, we can't really be ourselves because, you know, we don't want the people in the quote unquote hood thinking that we are sellouts and we're not really intelligent. And I want to talk about that because what we have in Black America is the prisoners running the jail cells. And it shouldn't be like that. See, we shouldn't be only relegated to acting ghetto just to be black. Like, you can't be very intelligent and speak eloquently and be black? Why does blackness always have to be aligned with a struggle or struggle of or struggle situation? Yes, it's a part of our story, like in the case of me, but it is not a part of every black person's story, okay? And for some of our talented people that have worked hard and have done very well and have grown up in more privileged situations than us, we should be looking to them as an example and reaching out to them. Stop hating on them because, you know, their family worked hard, or because their family wanted the best for their kids, or their family could afford certain things. We have many black men and black women who are in those particular classes in, you know, all parts of Black America, especially amongst the East Coast. You have the Jack and Jill, you have the Black Elites, you have debutante balls. It's not uncommon in Washington, D.C. It's not uncommon in Baltimore. It's not uncommon in New York City. It's not uncommon in Atlanta, Georgia. It's not uncommon in Houston or Dallas, Texas, to see blacks doing very well. In DeSoto, Texas. But, you know, in order to be black, you got to be from the streets, Jigga! No, you don't. Being an intelligent black person is worth its weight in gold. Even if people don't want to date you, they may call you Carlton because of how you're dressed. Who cares? Talented people, bright people, intelligent people rule the world. Right now, we are talking, having a conversation based on YouTube. Some nerdy guys invented YouTube. The mic I'm talking about, the Shure SM7B, was created by a nerd, okay? The Rodecaster that I'm using was created by a nerd. So we got to stop looking at, well, you know, to be black, you have to be ghetto, but we accept everybody else's nerd's technology. The iPhone is created by a nerd. It wasn't a Pookie and a Ray Ray who created that. We benefit from intelligent people. So why not benefit from the intelligent people in our own community? And they shouldn't have to apologize for being successful. We shouldn't have to, as successful blacks, all in the world or across the black diaspora, be forced to come down to the hood or to the hood level of thinking. Now, just because you're from the ghetto, don't mean that you have that mentality, okay? Everybody from the ghetto isn't a bad person. There are plenty of hardworking people who live in the working class areas of Black America. It doesn't make them a bad person. I come from that working class area. I still have a mentality of a working class person, and I'm so glad for where I come from. Doesn't make me better than anybody, but it doesn't relegate me to being a hood stereotype also. And many black people in Black America feel like, okay, well, if you don't identify with our particular struggles all the time, then you're a sellout. No, we need to understand what the black elites have done, some of them. We need to understand what talented blacks have done, what positions they've gotten themselves in to do it. And we need more young men like him and young women in our community to come out and talk about it. Stop being shamed of your family doing the right fucking thing. I don't see anything wrong with what he said. What about you guys? Well, guys, I got to get up out of here. Shout out to SPK for the production. And as you know, it's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.